Good morning folks from sunny Galloway. It's the 6th of March and spring has arrived. So I'm going to give you a brief update on the midget, and we're not going to go in through the garage. We're going to go out this way because I've wheeled the rotisserie outside so we can have a proper look at it in daylight. I remember last time we all but finished this side on the last video. There were a couple of issues left to sort out. I mean, I could not be much happier with the gaps on the fit of the wing. It looks really neat there. Door gaps here are pretty good, really. Kind of wide gap here, and I'm not quite sure what that's all about and what, if anything, I need to do about it. The door opens and closes neatly, and as you'll see, I've welded on this repair section at the back here. I'm not happy with it. It's okay. I mean, it's pretty solid and it fits, but there's a little bit of a ridge, a little bit of a bump in it, and I'm hoping I can sort that out in when I come to do the bodywork, the filler and paint work. There's always, looking at videos online about seam welding, there's always a bit of a debate about how neat you want your line to be and whether you leave a gap and you weld in between a gap, or do you have the plates touching each other. I think on balance I maybe, well, I know I'm now coming around to the gap theory, and I don't think I left enough gap so that when you do weld, even though I was very careful about, you know, cooling it and taking my time, if the two plates are pretty close together, then they buckle up a little bit and you end up with a bit of a ridge. However, we'll see how I'll decide, you know, if I can sort that in the filler, fine. If not, I'll redo it. But yeah, so this side's done. Now, one of the issues I was debating about last time was kind of what was happening under here, because there were lots of gaps, and if you'll see now, there are no gaps. Well, there's a little space up there, which is kind of where the inner wing has a gap anyway, but I've sorted these out, and basically what I had to do for the inner wing is undo these welds and pull it round so that it was square at the back. So there's a nice overlap on this side, which is parallel all the way down. And the other thing I had to do, which was a little bit irritating, was to do a bit of work on the sill. So you kind of assume, if I open the door and show you, you kind of assume that this distance, this width here, is perfect. But in fact, when we got up near the front end, which obviously you can't see in here, but in behind here, the front end, the gap was just maybe 2 1/8, 2 1/4 inches, and the wing, for that wing to fit tight, really requires the gap to be about pretty much 2 inches. So when I put the front bolt, remember last time I bolted this thing, sorry I'm rambling a little bit, but I bolted this thing with the 3 bolts at this end, but didn't bolt the front one. And when I attempted to bolt the front one, it pulled this wing in, and there was the sill was sticking out here by about 1/4 inch. So I basically had to undo the spot welds on the sill on this side, bend the top of it back a little bit, push it in a bit further, and weld it again, which means that this works now. It's a neat fit, but it also helped here. Obviously I had to drill these out as well and redo them. So it has closed this gap up. So, you know, I can't show you all of that without taking the wing off, and I don't really feel like doing that today, but Anyway, I think what that's telling me is that if, God willing, I was ever to do this again, I would make sure I fitted the wing before welding in the sill, just to check the, not only obviously you want to make sure this is in the right place, but also that it's far enough in, because that's pretty critical. So that was a lot of extra work that maybe could have been avoided if I'd taken a bit more thought at the beginning. Anyway, this side is done, thankfully. So we're progressing to the other side, and as you can see, I've bolted a wing on here, which, let me just tilt her up this way, let you have a look. So this is the A-post cover is in place. I've welded it in, kind of happy with the welds, pretty neat, and I'm happy with the gap up here. It's pretty good. A little bit of a space at the top, but nothing that can't be sorted out. Door gaps are pretty good. As you know, this door, I've still got a bit of an issue that it's a little bit tight, particularly at the top end here, so I'm going to have to do some work on that. I haven't welded this section in yet for reasons that I'll come on to in a minute or two. So the sill on this side, the gap there is maybe a little bit bigger than I would like, but it is neat. It does fit nicely in the arch. It's parallel here, but if you follow it along, it is bigger on this side. So do I accept that? Tidy it up when it comes to the filler and so forth, or do I redo this sill? If you remember, I've got an issue with these spot plug welds because when I did them, I had an issue with the wire feed on the MIG. So these are all going to have to be redone anyway. Most of them have popped. So effectively the bottom end here is pretty much loose. So this thing is being held in place by the welds at the top. And if I open this door, you can see, oops, there we go. I could bring it up level with that and make the gaps a little bit neater on here. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to give it some thought, because I don't know if I want to mess about with it anymore. How vital is that to do? Inside here, I haven't welded that on yet, but again, you can see I've moved the spot welds on the inner wing to get that a good fit, and yeah, it looks great up here. The kind of outer wing overlaps the inner wing as it does on the other side. So yeah, I'm happy that a little bit of tinkering has got me where this thing needs to be. So final decision, do I move that sill or do I accept it? Answers on a postcard, please. Any thoughts, please share them with me. Is it good enough? Do I need to move it? And then I'll weld, once I've decided that, I'll weld this final panel back in, and that's the bodywork pretty much done, I'm pleased to say. So I think that's enough for today. As I said at the beginning of this video, spring has arrived here in Galloway, so the car is out so I can clean the garage, but this baby's out as well. So I think she's due her first run of the year, so I may just take her out for a run. Probably can't show you too much, excuse the noise. This is going to sound pretty awful. so I might take this the Midget's big brother out for a spin and go see the sea, watch the waves. So yeah, that's all for now folks, that's today's video. Once I've made my mind up what I'm going to do about this sill, I'll tidy that up and the back end, and then start work on getting this suspension in so I can get this thing on its wheels. But for now, from sunny Galloway in southwest Scotland, have a great day, like, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.